What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for The Handmaid's Tale. This is season 6. I am just on episode 2, Exile. I lost my voice there for a moment, so I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things. I have my mic. Normally y'all don't see it on camera. I usually keep it away from my mouth, but I need y'all to be able to hear me without me screaming. So let's get into it. This is Exile. So last time that we were here, we saw June throwing Mama from the train. We saw her push Serena Joy off the train with Noah in her arms. We didn't know what was going to happen with them. We didn't know if Serena Joy was going to live or if baby Noah would be harmed. Well, it comes to find out she didn't die. And luckily, neither did Noah. Noah is the only one that I'm concerned about in this relationship. Serena Joy kind of fell back out of the train and with Noah on top of her. She should be 3 sheets to the wind right now. But June, once again, found a way to save Serena Joy. And somehow, I was upset about this, I'm telling you, because I felt like all the stuff that June has done, that she has brought people in to help save her and to get what she wanted to have done. This is the one time that she could have truly been there for other people's needs and desires. It's always about what June wants and needs. And truly, we look out for our own selves, when we're trying to deal with our own survival. But we should not be doing that on the backs of others all the fucking time. And that's what June does to me. So, Serena Joy, we know she already got fake paper. So, even if she came up to some outside force out there in Canada, she would be all right. We knew this, right? Apparently nobody in Canada watches the news because everybody should know Serena Joy's face. Everybody should know June's face. I kept saying it over and over again, but that's not what's happening. So she happened upon a church. And if they are of the Lord, she's going to find refuge there, which she did. Somebody came and they took her to someplace safe. Apparently, the place that they've taken her is filled with other refugees, but it's only for women and children. So I don't know what they do with the men when they are thrown off a train, but they took her in and they welcomed her, and she took on the name Rachel. Now, y'all remember the center that they built for the new center they built for the Handmaids was called the Rachel and Leah Center. Yeah, Serena Joy is taking on the name Rachel from the biblical since Rachel and Leah. So now we go back up to Alaska where we had that reuniting of Holly and June, and Holly is sitting there with baby Jelly Bean singing her a little song, a little lullaby, and Holly tell her that she can go ahead and remove that red tag that she has on her ear. But June says no, she doesn't want it to be gone, right? She doesn't want it to be gone until all the handmaids are free. At this particular stage, June has no plan to free anybody else. We saw her already give up the handmaids in which she ran with, in order to see Hannah, which she didn't get to take with her because Nick was using the damn child to get to the other handmaids. We already know that June will give up the other handmaids for her own personal needs. So it's shocking to me that she said she's going to keep that red tag on her ear until all the other handmaids are free. What are you doing to try to free these other handmaids, June? Nothing at all. You could, like I said, you couldn't even help the former handmaids and Marthas that was on their train enact their revenge the same way in which you did to Fred. But anyhow, so it starts said that June, I can't see around my mic and I got my notes right here. It's starting to settle into June's head that her mama was not only alive, but she's free, standing right there in front of her. She said she looked for her and her apartment was trashed. I think we remember an episode where June was trying to figure out where her mama was at, and then she saw her mama on the pictures in the colonies, right? And she said, yeah, they did. They dragged me out of there, and then they brought me up for trial. Remember, her mother worked for Planned Parenthood, so she was one of those people that was being prosecuted. And then she said the people, they were such cowards. They wouldn't even show their faces. They had on masks, as you see what the MAGA Knights do right now. So the question becomes, how did you end up here in Alaska? I'm quite sure that June wants to know, did you look for her? Okay, the same way that she looked for you. And I know we didn't see their full reunion, but she didn't even ask about Hannah or Luke at this particular stage. But June did ask her, how did she survive the colonies? Well, her being a doctor came in handy because they needed her to care for the aunts and the guardians who were sick and injured. All of her friends that were there with her, they were killed. But she held on knowing that June may be out there somewhere surviving because she felt that's how she raised her. And I was like, you gave her too much credit, because we saw June in them earlier years. June was not a fighter. It took June a while to get to that point, but June was no fighter. So I don't know what this oomph y'all talking about that June had, that she was raised with, where they come from. Okay. But she said, she says the army are the ones who rescued her colony about 6 months ago. I thought they said the army was completely gone. After they made it to Chicago, I thought that they said the U.S. Army was gone. But apparently there's still a small few out there, according to Holly. I'm surprised word hadn't spread to her that June was leading this so-called revolution. It was big news in the past year. She says that Gilead has pretty much cut off all communication sources from to Alaska. So they don't have the internet, they don't have the TV, radio, nothing, which explains why she doesn't know anything. Usually in times of war or trouble, when people can't access the internet or the TV or the radios, they use other methods like spray painting things on walls, putting out printed materials. None of that was going on here though. So she tells them that they get 5 minutes a week to make phone calls. And I was like, well, who is she calling? Who was she calling? She said she called the embassies, she called different refugee camps, but she got no help. Now I can see the embassies possibly having phones, but the refugee camps, I guess so, since she's on the refugee camp right now. So she claimed that she was meant to move on to somewhere else before, and not be staying there in Alaska, possibly like Hawaii or Guam, but the wait list was long. Now this is where June's train was supposed to travel to originally. They were supposed to go to Vancouver and then get on a boat from Vancouver to Hawaii, but they rerouted this train on railroad tracks that don't exist. There is no railroad tracks that exist, a direct track that would go from Canada into Alaska. There's different trains that go from Vancouver to places further north up in Alaska, but none that connect from the U.S. or Alaska into Canada. So this I don't know how they are explaining this at all. There's no direct fucking train that would have got them there. And when June got off the train, she was the last freaking one on it. So it wasn't like that they, were going somewhere else or loading up on a Greyhound bus or something like that to get to Alaska. Anyhow, this is at the point that Holly finally asked about Hannah. Again, she still ain't asking about Luke. Like, she ain't really giving a fuck about where Luke is at right now. But she telling that last that she knew, Hannah was alive. She was healthy. But Hannah couldn't remember who she was, And, that was the terrifying part. Well, Mark Tuello, he was able to get Luke released, as we saw that they said they were going to do last episode. And he asked, and Luke asked, did they make it to Alaska? Like, why would Luke know that they're going to Alaska since they were supposed to be going to Vancouver and then to Hawaii? How you know about Alaska? But he found out, and he was told that even though he's out of jail, he's not free yet. He still has to go to court, and that may take months. So he still has to stick around in Toronto. And Luke was like, I can't catch a fucking break. Okay. Just in this 2 minutes on screen, this is probably the best that I've ever seen the actor play Luke. He's stuck there, you know. They shot down Tuello's plane already. He can't rescue his own fucking daughter. And his emotions came out in this scene perfectly. He's like, you know what they do to those girls there? You know what they got to do. So I have to do something. So what now? What the hell are we going to do? So Moira tells him that Mayday is doing something. Now, I remember Mayday being disbanded as well. I guess there's still small factions all over. He said that Mayday is tracking down the commanders who shot down the planes, and they plan to kill them. Well, you know who shot down the planes. You know where they are. What is this fucking game that we playing? I don't understand. Well, Luke is like, well, fuck it, I'm in. Count me in. No. Moira say, you don't even know what that means. Moira, you just said the same thing the day before, that you was in. You don't know this either, okay? You can't make that man not go. Well, back in Gilead, Naomi and Commander Joey, the Lawrences, they settling into married life, and Nick stops by to tell him that Wharton is stopping by. Now, Wharton is supposed to have already talked to Lawrence, okay, because he was supposed to smooth things over for him and Nick to even have that conversation. So what is he driving over there to say? They have phones in Gilead. The commanders have phones. Why they just can't call each other? Joey insists that he had nothing to do with June getting ran over, but he understood why somebody would want to. Nick is like, okay, I believe you. Then he takes a dig at him by saying, I believe you don't have the ability or the capability or the power to pull that type of stuff off. Well, he had some power and influence, if nothing else, because New Bethlehem has a wait list for handmaids and Marthas wanting to come back. A wait list for the former enslaved to go back to their plantations and make it home. This is why I don't even like to visit plantations. I saw that one in South Carolina, but I don't want to go stay. I don't want to go Cisco Bar. I don't want to live on a fucking plantation, none of that shit. But anyway, they're being invited, and it's now a wait list for them to go back, live in perfect harmony with their fucking captors and enslavers. You know, they make money via trade, selling produce, clean water, automobiles. This is how New Bethlehem is surviving. So Wharton asks, well, what happened to Serena Joy? Wasn't she supposed to be our ambassador? Ain't she still with the Wheelers? Why you don't know where she at? Why you don't know she's not with the Wheelers anymore? You're higher up than Commander Lawrence is. Why you don't know nothing, Wharton? Okay, then Commander Joey said, well, the Wheelers were kind of problematic. So, no, she's not with them no more. Plus, she's just on maternity leave right now. She just had a baby. She's chilling out. Well, Wharton was like, well, don't you think she should be here back in New Bethlehem? She should be the voice for the people. She'd be a good face for Gilead, the new Gilead that we're creating here. She should have a voice. I already see they setting this up where her and Wharton is finna get together. He's too complimentary of Serena Joy. Like he has a fascination with her, which is weird to me. Very weird to me. Wharton wants her to come back to New Bethlehem and welcome the refugees back home. Now, New Bethlehem is Commander Lawrence's city. The city he created, the city he molded, and even though they fall under Gilead, this is his jurisdiction, not Wharton's. But anyway, so Nick says, well, to Commander Lawrence, they ask you to jump, you gonna say hi? And I'm like, Nick, ain't that what you've been doing? You've had plenty of opportunities to not only save June, but to save Hannah, bring Hannah to her mother. Yet here we are. Aren't you jumping as high as they want you to jump as well? Lawrence tell him, well, look here, we just need to find Serena Joy. We need to pull her back into this. She ain't out. She ain't out, child. But yes, Wharton wants her as the face of the new era of Gilead. So Nick is gonna go put out feelers for him to find out where she at. Now, she was just thrown from a train somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Who gonna tell them where she at? Okay. So let me tell you. Okay, I just asked a question. I have to address this because I do not put fucking spoilers in my comment section. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I don't know why I gotta keep saying it to people who have been here since the first time I started reviewing this show. Do not put spoilers in the comment section. If the answer to whatever question I just said does not show until the next episode, keep your mouth shut. It's rhetorical. If the answer to the question is something about an episode that happened prior and I just overlooked it or missed it, feel free to drop it in the comment section. But other than that, you're not the only one watching this video. There are people here who don't watch the show as it's going on. There are people who have never seen episodes. There are people that just come to here to watch the video. So by you putting the answers down in the comment section for stuff that hasn't happened yet, don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, anywho. Speculations are welcome. Speculations are welcome. But don't, if you saw it in another episode, don't put down there, yeah, in such and such episode this happened. Don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody in the comment section put down there that Rita had moved to New Bethlehem. They put it in the comment section of the first episode. I'm only on 2. Okay. And as far as episode 1 and episode 2, Rita ain't moved to New Bethlehem. So there was no fucking reason for anybody to drop that down in the comment section. If I wonder if such and such happened, don't come say yes or no, it happened in a later episode. It's bad enough the show itself is showing 50-11 trailers with highlights of what's going to happen in such detail. More than they ever have. Don't do it. Respect the fucking channel. Because it pisses me off. Anywho, June calls. She makes her phone call. And she is so shocked to hear Luke's voice. Because she didn't know he was out of jail. Then you got Rita that was there, Moira was there, and June had a surprise for them. Her mama, Holly. Holy fucking shit, right? That reunion would probably be enough to push Rita to go do more than anything, because Rita is looking to try to find her sister and reunite with her. If June could reunite with her mom after all this time, then maybe there's hope for Rita too. I would have asked Holly to look into the possibility of her sister having come through other refugee camps, but she let them know that Serena Joy was on that train, but she's not important right now. She's going to wait in Alaska until they can join her. So Nick goes to meet with Tuello. Somehow they still make it to the Canadian border without detection. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Toronto and Boston, which is where Gilead initially was the main focus, is not near each other. Toronto does not sit on the Canadian border. It's some hours to get to Toronto. But anyway, Tuello, Mark, and Nick was able to go meet. And he tells Nick that June and Jellybean, they safe. They need to set up some patrols. They want the patrols to be of Gilead. And my thing is like, where is Mayday? Why is Mayday not here with Tuello making these negotiations with Nick? Because Tuello has joined them. He already said that the American government ain't got a foot to stand on. So why is Mayday not the one here in these negotiations? But Nick is trying to figure out, why is the U.S. military needing to know what the patrol zones are? Is Mayday planning something? Why do you care why they want to know it, Nick? Are you helping us or not? That's what we would need to know. Tuello say, what's Mayday, bro? You didn't seem convincing of your lack of know-it-all, Tuello. You didn't convince me or Nick that you didn't know what Mayday was. Nick saying, look here, Mayday is no match for us. I'm going to let you know that right now. I notice how he keeps saying us when he's referring to Gilead. Nick is still very much a part of them. And just like Commander Joey, he's telling him that these people are just teachers, no drivers, pharmacists, no plumbers, not fighters. They will get shot down on this spot fucking with us. How many bodies are you going to sacrifice? When is enough going to be enough for you? And Tuello tell him when there's nobody left to fight. Okay? Fuck you mean? Now, Tuello gave him an encrypted SIM card for him to call him and reach out to him. Okay? Now, we're going to jump a couple months ahead, and I'm surprised it ain't cold in Alaska yet. Anchorage only get about 20 days a year when the weather's in the 70s, and it still ain't cold there. So now while Jelly Bean still ain't got no bigger, Lil Goober is now a big boy now. You know, he's so fucking adorable. So Serena Joy, she's still at camp, at the camp that rescued her. Where exactly it is, we still don't know. And we getting a little bit of Serena Joy's past life. I was just about to ask where was her family. We get a flashback moment of her and her father. They out here, and she just came back from her book tour, and it looks like he has Parkinson's and he's suffering from that. And this is definitely where her love of gardening has blossomed. He, being a man of the cloth himself, was proud that she was attempting to do something because he felt like the people in the world needed saving, and she was going to be the one to do it. So apparently, the theme for this episode is parent relationships, okay? Next, we go to Wharton and Nick, and Wharton tells him the reason that they called the sons of Jacob is because they didn't have fathers, right? And then he talks about how Nick's father wasn't the best type of man either. His mama, even though she loved her job, she would have probably loved to stay home and be there for her family, to cook and to clean, be barefoot and pregnant all the time. But since daddy wasn't such an asshole and he wasn't a good man, then here we are, right? He first Waterford, now Lawrence. You've let these men guide you, Nick. Basically telling him that he's been groomed in the wrong way. And Nick say he ain't never been confused about what his role is in their lives, you know. So Ward tell me, well, let's hope you do better for your own son, my grandchild. Let's hope you do better. Be a better fucking man. Don't waste your goddamn potential. He keeps telling Nick how much potential he has. And that's basically a potential for him to rise in ranks. That's basically what he's saying. So in Nick's decision making, he's decided to get rid of the SIM card. He's not going to help Tuello after all. He throws it into the fire. So there's no recovery on that SIM card. And I'm like, why do people like Nick? I just don't understand. He has no fucking backbone. He has no moral compass. But people are in love with Nick. It just doesn't make sense to me. So June, she's trying to make her weekly phone call to Luke and not getting through. You know, he hasn't updated her on the hearing. She's tried him a few times to contact him, and right now she's getting rushed off the phone. I'm like, damn, they got 5 minutes. You know, I was like, you ain't gonna call Tuello, you ain't gonna call Rita. Well, Luke is probably in the trenches, but she doesn't know that. And you would think that someone would be manning the phone expecting her call, like Rita, okay? But anyway, at Serena Joy's camp, she finally admits who she is, that she's not really Rachel. And the lady who welcomed her already knew it. She claimed she had read her book once upon a time, and but she wants her to look at herself, look at the things she's done, and find ways to make it right. These are, again, godly people, right? So she said God will want that for you. Her father's health back in the past was fading fast, okay? Even his flowers had died. I don't know if y'all noticed that. And it was time for her to go back on her book tour, to leave again. And she tells him that it's about to happen. It's about to pop off. He hasn't met Fred yet, but this is the time, I think, around the time when they went to the movie theater and Fred got the phone call that they about to pop things off. She's telling her dad things are about to be set off, okay? And they gonna force their beliefs on the rest of the world. It's basically what she tell her daddy. Just like you always wanted. I said, here we go again. We trying to soften Serena Joy's stance, trying to make her seem like the actions that she took in Gilead's development wasn't her own. That this was all her dad's fault. She's doing it for her daddy. Miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with that bullshit. Okay, present day, we get a sexy, shiny black car pulling up to the camp. It's Commander Lawrence with Naomi. Now, remember when June awakened, they were 6 hours past Winnipeg. Winnipeg is a 19-hour ride if you're driving a car from Toronto, which is 5 hours from New Bethlehem. Don't know how far they've gotten before June threw Mama from the train. Yet somehow Commander Joey and Naomi was able to get through Canada over a 31-hour drive and find Serena Joy in this camp that is isolated. No phone, no internet, no TV, no nothing. Somebody knew she was there. How, Sway? Who you got in your ranks that told them? How? Okay, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. The leader said to him, because I don't know her fucking name, "This isn't Gilead, Commander. You are trespassing on our property." He was like, "Oh, we just swung by to talk, just have a little sit down, little smorgasbord." So why are they acting in this show like everything is close, like it's 5 boroughs in New York? Okay, so he wants her to come back, and we all know why. It's Wharton. Serena Joy say, "Well, I'm unmarried. It wouldn't be ideal for me." Like I said, I could already see them setting up her to marry Wharton. He seems like, he wants her to have a voice. He's totally against how the sons of Jacob treat the women. Like I said, which is so unaligned with the sons of Jacob, but go off. And then Commander Joy tell her, "Look here, you could do all those things in New Bethlehem. Just before Gilead, you know what I'm saying?" So she like, I don't know. I feel God here where I'm at. And he said, "Well, shit, don't God exist everywhere? Okay? Don't God exist everywhere?" Well, see there, Commander Joy, they willing to overlook her sins. They willing to overlook her sins. But Serena Joy has already showed her true colors to y'all. I was never blind to them, me, myself. But of course, she's going to go back. You already know this. Joey is like, God is everywhere. So it's up to you to show people the way. That's your calling, right? Then he tells her, the eyes know where you are. Okay, it's only a matter of time before the Wheelers do too. If the eyes know where she is, why does not Commander Wharton? Well, June finally calls Mark, okay? And without hesitation, he tells June that Luke and Moira have joined Mayday. Now, we know that the Testaments TV show is going to come out next year based on the second book. Still giving this away. I haven't told y'all how we get it yet. But based on the second book. And Moira, the actress who plays Moira, says she will not be returning for the Testaments. Which is, I don't know how they're going to do it, because Moira and Luke are an intricate part of the Testament story. So I don't know if they're going to alter her story now that she says she's not going to rejoin the show. She says she's done with the trauma. I fucking understand. I don't understand how y'all binge watch this shit. I can only do one traumatic episode at a time. I can't sit here and watch 3 episodes in one damn night or back to back. No, I need some happy moments in my life. I'm not going to traumatize myself like that. She's been on this show for 6 fucking seasons. She's like, I can't do it no more. I'm not going to do it no more. So I wonder, are they going to alter her storyline? Or they going to do it just like they used to do back in the old days, where they get a new actress to play her role? I don't think they do that no more. Like normally when the actor leaves the show now, they just kill them off or replace them in some kind of way, like, or have a replacing story to show why they ain't there. I mean, do y'all know how many Victorias there was on Young and the Restless? Do y'all know there's 4? There was 4 Victorias. There was 2 Nickies. There was 3 Ashleys. Even in the TV show Spartacus, there was 3 different actors who played Spartacus. But nowadays, when an actor dies, when an actor leaves the show, they will kill them off on the show itself, or they would disappear the character. And shit, nowadays, a lot of times, they'll kill you off and won't even tell you that you killed off until you go down, sit down and read your script. Lazy television, in my opinion. Lazy television. Except for Bad Boys 4. In Bad Boys 4, they replaced the Teresa, and they did a horrible job in that casting. Like, I like Tasha Smith as an actress, but she should not have been Teresa in Bad Boys 4. She had no characteristics or personality of the original character. Didn't matter to me that she didn't look like the original lady. She didn't fit the bill as far as the character. Her whole personality changed. Anyway, if y'all know of any other shows that they replaced the actor instead of killing them off, put it down in the comment section for me. Anywho, Mark tell June that Luke and Moira are stuck in no man's land and they can't get them out. So the embassy is going to let June fly in to rescue them. I'm like, her mama, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you talking about? This is why America failed to Gilead, in my opinion. The stupidity of our fucking government. June said that Nick was working with the Americans. It struck me odd that she said it like that. Just like when Nick talks about Gilead, he always says us. And when June talks about the America, she always says the Americans, the Americans. As if she's not one. Do y'all realize that? Anywho, Nick has cut them off because remember he threw the SIM card away. So they sending June in as a way to sway him back over. I bet this was June's idea. Anyway, Nick is a commander. If he wanted to help June, he would have. He didn't need swaying. Look how many commanders, look how many handmaids that Commander Lawrence helped. Look how many wrongdoings that they were doing in his house that he said nothing. He did it because he wanted to, not because he even liked the ass. He didn't even like him. He did it because he wanted to, because he could. And Nick is a commander. He could do what the fuck he want to as well. If he wanted to help, he could. They can miss me with this BS that Nick has no choice. Holly is the only person on this show that has made sense, only because I agree with her. She said he's an eye. All the drivers were eyes, and now he's a commander. This man can't be trusted. Exactly. It could be a trap. He could be trying to get you and Nicole. And of course, June is like, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. But he already did it. He already used your oldest daughter against you to entrap you. He's already done it. Yes, he is that type of man. June is like, no. He's not like that. They are all like that, is what Holly says. They're monsters. No, not him. Holly said, girl, you are lying to yourself. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Holly. Somebody need to tell her. Somebody need to tell her and the rest of these fans out here that think Nick and June's relationship is relationship goals. Wake up, y'all. Like, just like them, June would keep convincing herself that he is the perfect specimen of a man, which he is not. Okay. June is like, so what do I do? Should I just leave them there, let them be tortured, captured? You know what I'm saying? No. But there got to be another way to do this. My thing is, the same way Tuello and Nick were meeting, why couldn't that have been where Tuello made it a point of entry for Mayday to enter into Canada? Because evidently it's unguarded. None of this shit makes sense to me. June claims there is no other way. You taught me how to fight. June, you did not have any fight in you, girl. Bye. You didn't have no fight in you. That came years down the road. And you sacrificed other people to do it. Holly said, well, I regret all the moments I left you and I went to go fight. You know, instead of loving you and protecting you. So protect the people that you love. And June says, that's what the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying to protect the people I love. But Holly and me, we see right through her. Like Nick too. Is that oh, you include Nick in this? You include Nick in this? She's like, oh, you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. She said, I know my daughter fucked a Nazi and she finna try to get back across the globe to go see his ass again. That I know. Yes, Holly. Whoever wrote Holly's lines, watch my videos. They were able to put my thoughts onto screen because this right here, okay? She said, if you want to go, fine, but leave the baby here. I was like, what you mean leave the baby here? You mean to tell me that June was finna take Jelly Bean back in the Gilead. The fuck she not? Bitch, I know you wasn't. No, you was not about to try to take that baby with you on a rescue mission. And speaking of not, Commander Joey has not one prayer to say. He's sitting down with Serena Joy and the rest of the ladies at the camp, and they ask him to bless the food. And even Naomi couldn't even muster up some prayerful words. Jesus wept, you know. God bless this mess in the hands that made it. You know, something. You know. So Serena Joy decided to take over. And her prayer or blessing was long-winded and sanctimonious as ever. But in that moment, she realizes to herself, because she's a fucking narcissist as well, that she is leading the people. That she should be leading the people. And so she decided to return with the Lawrences on a 31-hour drive back to Pennsylvania. Because she knows that she is the chosen one, you know. And she's going to lead everybody out of exile. Well, June and Holly, they have come to Jesus moment, right? And Holly explained why she didn't find June and everything she went through to try to find her daughter. And she apologized for not being a good mother when she was growing up. And June apologized for what she said because she know that Holly didn't abandon her. But when it's all said and done, Holly is still begging her to leave Jelly Bean there with her, leave her behind. That kind of explains some things to me, but we'll talk about that in the next show. So why the fuck would you take a child on a damn rescue mission anyway? I just didn't get that shit, June. Well, June finally was convinced that she's gonna leave Jelly Bean there, and she claims she'll be coming back. And her mom was like, me and Nicole gonna be right here. And she said to herself, Nicole. And she laughed, and she finally said it out loud. Her real name is Holly. I named her after you. I was like, finally. Now, from this point on, we're gonna call that baby Holly. Because I still won't call her Nicole. She will be Jelly Bean into the end if you keep calling that little girl Nicole. So, anywho. So, June, oh no, Serena Joy, they ain't driving, y'all. They ain't making the 31-hour drive. They actually flying on a private jet. And I was like, how did Alaska allow Commander Lawrence to come into the state? No enemy of mine would be allowed to come and go. They shouldn't even have a fucking embassy, a Gilead embassy in Alaska. Alaska is American soil. Fuck that. Get them off our fucking country. Anyway, June, she takes off in the truck to go on her way to go meet up with whoever she's going to meet up with. And she just riding the truck the whole fucking way. She ain't on no plane. She ain't on a train. She in the truck. So she did take a 31-hour drive. Anyhow, child. June, she was brought to this dark, dingy, abandoned mansion filled with the resistance. They all standing there looking stupid. And I was like, you mean to tell me none of these motherfuckers in this building can rescue Luke and Moira? None of these people in here? It was a weird scene where they would all turn around and just looked at her. They all looked like, the zombies do. They all turned around and looked at her. And then she decided to walk towards the window, and then they parted like the Red Sea. That was the creepiest fucking scene for me. Anyway, child, Serena Joy, she was greeted by blue waters, white sand beaches, and 3-story homes with glass windows, all perfectly lined up along the shore. And who was there with her? Nick, Commander Joey, and Naomi. June is about to enter into a dark time. Serena's about to enter into the best time of her life. These atmospheres were the perfect example of what they're about to experience, at least for the next few days. This is episode 2, y'all. Thank y'all for waiting. Thank y'all for being patient. The Handmaid's Tale. Exile. Peace.